Mr. Mayor, at 7 o'clock.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the August 17th meeting of the Irmo Town Council. I'm calling a public hearing to order. Anybody here to address the council on ordinance 2110, the rezoning of property from residential general to fringe agricultural? Is there anybody here to address this? I have one person, Ms. Kay Brown. Are you here to address Ms. Kay Brown? Come on up and talk to us. Oh, okay, so you want to be at the end of the meeting or is it on our agenda? Okay, it'll be at the end of our meeting. Okay, I'll call you back up at that time, all right? You did. You signed the wrong rezoning. But that's okay. We'll call you up. Not a problem. Anybody here to address the council on rezoning of property, ordinance 2110 to rezone properties from residential general to fringe agricultural? Seeing none, I'm going to call a public hearing to a close. And I'm now going to call the August 17th, 2021 meeting of the Irmo Town Council to order. And I have a special treat for you. I have a young lady, Miss Mackenzie Grace Smith, who was accepted in the Escalade Academy of Harbison West Elementary School. That is the gifted program in Richland Lexington 5. She will be in the 3rd grade this year, ladies and gentlemen, and she has honored us by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Is that okay, Miss Mackenzie? All right. Well, y'all please stand and join us and Mackenzie in the Pledge of Allegiance. Go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to
the flag
of America,
and to the
republic to which it stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Mackenzie. Can you take it from me? Dear, is there an invocation, please? Dear Lord, dear Lord, I know we are in stressful times, and I want to thank you for allowing this council to be able to negotiate, debate, and hash out differences in our agendas, in our opinions, and come out and do the things which is best for the town of Irmo. In your name I pray, amen. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. And again, thank you, Ms. Mackenzie, for that, and congratulations on getting into the Harbison West Escalade Academy. It's a big deal. Thank you. All right, we have the reading of the minutes. We have the reading of the minutes for July 20th, 2021. Is there a motion for acceptance?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Bush and Ms. Condon, are there any changes? Seeing no changes for the July 20th meeting, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? It's unanimous. We have a motion for the reading of the minutes of the August 9th, 2021. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Bush, second. I have a change in the minutes. I'm striking out on the reading of the minutes. I'm striking out the last sentence. Oh, we all got this electronically, if you can look at it and follow along. I'm striking out the last sentence where it says Mayor Walker was the only member available at 7. I'm striking that whole last 2 sentences out, and I would like to replace it with Mayor Walker canceled the special meeting after Councilwoman Condon and Councilwoman Signature could not attend the meeting called, and all interviews require a full council. Therefore, the meeting was cancel and reschedule to August 16th, 2021 at 7 p.m. You got that? I got it written here if you want it. Okay, no problems. So that's a change for that minutes. Are there any other changes in the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor of the minutes as amended, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, and the last one, the minutes from August 12th, 2021. Is there a motion for approval?
I so move.
Is this Mr. Bush? Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Condon, okay. Any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor of the minutes as written, say aye.
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 All opposed? No, it's unanimous. Thank you. Report of standing, administrative briefing. Mr. Brown, are there any changes to the administrative briefing for the council?
No, sir, I have nothing.
Okay, and is there any changes for Mr. Brown? Seeing none. Amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments to the agenda? Seeing none. Consideration of communication. We have several. So I'd like to start with, let's go down here and start with the plaques, please. We have, it's come to think of it, we don't have any new businesses this month. What happened there? Okay. We have the honor to, once a month, to honor a small business in town, and
Let me introduce this is Richard Beal from Murraywood Health Food.
okay, thank you.
Business of the month, August.
Business of the month for the month of August. Every month we honor a particular business in the town of Irmo, and for this month it's the Murraywood Health Foods. Now, I don't eat meat anymore, so I'm not a complete vegetarian. I'm what they call a flexitarian or whatever. I eat fish, but I don't eat meat. I've been doing this since February 22nd, 2021 at 6 o'clock. That's the last time I had a piece of meat. So, because I've changed my lifestyle, I guess you have a bunch of good things I can eat at your establishment.
Yeah.
And keep myself nourished.
Get your vitamins. And
Get my vitamins. Fantastic. Well, I am proud to honor you as the Town of Irmo Business of the Month, the Murraywood Health Food, in recognition of being a small business of the month for the Town of Irmo, August 2021. Here you go.
thank you very much.
Thank you. You want to say a few things about it?
I'm honored for the recognition.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you very much for being a business in the town of Irmo.
30 years.
30 years, wow. I should be real skinny in a little while, right? Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I have another one. This is from last month, July business a month. I have any members from the Southern Strut here? Southern Strut? Southern Strut? No girls from no representative from Southern Strut? Oh, that's right. It's get ready for the Ochre Strut. Well, whenever they come, they will be presented to July 2021 Business of the Month, the Southern Strut Dance Studio. So we'll give them a big round of applause. They can see us on the table. I also wanted to, we had our groundbreaking of the new Rawls Creek Park this past week and last week, and we got from the House of Representatives, Chip Huggins, he gave us a proclamation, House of Representatives proclamation. I'm not going to read it, but it's from the House of Representatives, motion made by Chip Huggins recognizing the Rawls Creek Park project. That's where we're going to be building the Irmo Dog Park, the community garden, as well as the Irmo Skate Park. So I want to thank Chip Huggins for this, and this will be in Town Hall. Y'all can come and read it if you like and look at it. Thank y'all. And I think that's it. Thank y'all. Let's go back. All right. All right. Okay, we're going to continue on. I want to do this presentation from vote411.org first. And if you would, anybody from them would come forward and come to the mic and tell us what you're presenting us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Sharon Ailing, and I'm here with my colleagues and fellow League of Women Voters members, and they are my daughter, Constantina Ailing. Other members are Mr. Philip Jones, Elizabeth Sparkle Jones, and last but not least, Rosa Bennett. Raise your hand. Okay, thank you. And also, I brought Stanley, the Vote 411 Bear. And Stanley is here to wear the T-shirt that I did not want to wear. Thank you for allowing me to speak for the League of Women Voters on behalf of vote411.org. I hope everyone has the little card. We were founded in 1920, making us 101 years old this year. We are a nonpartisan organization that works to register voters and to inform and engage citizens in the democratic process. We do not support any particular party or candidate. We have an online voter's guide called vote411.org. You can visit vote411.org for information on when, where, and how to cast your vote. You can meet the candidates, find out who's running, and where they stand on the issues. And you can also register to vote on vote411.org. To use it, just type in your address, and you can see all the candidates running for upcoming elections. You can also register to vote and find your polling place. For you that are candidates, you can use it to tell voters about yourselves and what you believe are the most critical issues in an election. We hope that those of you running for office will use this free service to reach your voters. During the 2020 general election, 30,000 voters in Lexington, Richland, Aiken, and Orangeburg counties visited our website for candidate information. Thank you for allowing me to share information about vote411.org with you this evening as we dodge the tornadoes. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to also call up Miss Miriam Atria from Lake Murray Country. Miss Atria.
Thank you, Mayor Walker and members of Irmo Town Council for this opportunity to come before you this evening. I brought along with me Vicki Davis. She is our Director of Special Events and Funding for Capital City Lake Murray Country, and she will also be showing you some exhibits this evening. We handed you a copy of our printed annual report. We had our annual meeting last Thursday night. I believe all of you were invited, and thank you, Mayor Walker, for coming and joining us. We received a congressional recognition at the Harbison Theater at our annual meeting for our 40 years of being in business. So we passed quite a milestone this past April. But we wanted to drop by tonight to present not only our year-end report directly to this council, but to provide you with some real updates on how our regional tourism program is marketing not only the four-county region, but some specifics to the town of Irmo. In the last 4 months of our fiscal year, which ended in June, we hosted 5 national tournament events in 4 months with a staff of 4.5. All of these events provided national television exposure. In the national television exposure always is implanted our 30-second tourism ad, which highlights many of our attractions and venues in this region and reasons for folks to come visit. We have just returned from ICAST. This is the largest fishing and outdoor show in the United States. We lured at that event 3 very, very large events that will be coming to this region in 2022, 2023, and 2024. We are signing contracts with them exactly now, and we cannot release their names until the contracts are returned back to us. During the pandemic, and of course that's kind of still going on, but during the first year that we've just experienced with it, our organization committed 54% of our budget to marketing and advertising, direct buys. And now we're on the way to the World Food Championship. Our organization has invested $150,000 out of our marketing plan for this event. We had Taste of Lake Murray, which is a pre-qualifier event, and the selection process locally to choose 7 chefs. We are sponsoring those 7 chefs, paying for their travel expenses as they head to Dallas with us to compete with a total of 350 chefs to become the world food chef. And of course, we're proud that our own bistro on the boulevard, Chef Kevin, is one of those 7 chefs. Very exciting. This region, Irmo, potentially will receive unprecedented media coverage from this event. This poster only shows the results from last year's event. This event will be televised on the Food Network channel. This will include, again, our canned 30-second television tourism ad. Our region, Chef Kevin and the other chefs from this region will be competing for a seat at the final event, which will be called the Final Table, where one of them could win $100,000. So let's visit Bistro on the Boulevard often and give Chef Kevin a lot of practice so that he'll come back a winner. And that'll really help town of Irmo, this region, and of course Bistro on the Boulevard. Our marketing results from last year are in. Our region's message is being shared through our media press partner. Each year we have a contract with a press partner that provides us with a detailed report on the articles that we influence to them to be distributed across the world in major national publications. We had 162 articles we submitted. When you do the marketing calculations, this delivered to us 168 million, lost my place here. 168 million in marketing value, but 18 billion media impressions. That's smart marketing, folks. When you figure that our organization's marketing budget is $681,000. We also have the regional television show that we filmed right before COVID from Eric the Travel Guy, Beyond Your Backyard, will be airing on PBS this fall. This is a 30-minute show with Eric the Travel Guy touring our beautiful tourism facilities and amenities and attractions, from golf to our rivers to our lake to parks, etc., telling the story across the United States about what this beautiful region offers to potential visitors. 2 weeks ago, Eric the Travel Guy was also in town again, because when he was here the first time to do a 30-minute show, we convinced him to come back to do an hour show. And that program is in partnership with all the tourism regions in the state of South Carolina on a project we call the Revolutionary War Trail. This 1-hour show, filmed in the 11 tourism districts, will air on PBS in January or February of 2022. This will also go out to over 148,000 households, million households across the United States. So we are reaching out in a big way to tell the story of this region. Hot off the press, about last month, Forbes magazine named our tourism region, which is Lexington, Richland, Newberry, and Saluda counties, and everything in that group, as a top Southern destination. And last week, Food and Travel magazine named us as a top 5 food and travel destination. These are some exciting things, and that's the larger scheme of things. But when we bring it down to various areas of our region, we made the commitment with Town of Irmo to provide signage, the banners, at our expense. We're not using the accommodations tax money for the banners. We're doing 3 series in a year because we realize at Christmas we want to take down those banners and have the beautiful Christmas decorations from the town. We are reaching out to the Okra Strut banners are up. We reached out to the Okra Strut. They provided the artwork, so we placed that event. We are hosting out at Lake Murray, and they're staying in the Town of Irmo's hotels, the National Women's Sunfish Championship at the end of September. That will go out of the Columbia Sailing Club. And I think, Vicki, didn't they say 60 to 80 participants as far away as California are coming to that event? Some of y'all will be getting an invitation, actually, to a reception for that from our office. Some other things that we've done for Irmo include that we had a photographer create a very special view of the beautiful trees along the tracks here in Irmo, and we placed that into our visitor guide. The brochure or visitor guide that I gave Mayor Walker a few minutes ago is an old one. We are actually in production with our newest and greatest version. The most popular requested visitor guide in your state welcome centers. They call us all the time and say, we can't keep your book in the office. We just can't keep them in our offices. So we're constantly shipping cases of these books to our 9 state welcome centers. And I believe, Vicki, that covers it. Did I miss anything? We, again, are appreciative of the support that we get from the Town of Irmo. Our offices are open. Our visitor center welcomes visitors from all over the world. We have experienced some fun times in tourism with the pandemic, but we're going strong. Tourism is on the rise. I think you'll see a different spin on it this time if things get tighter, so to speak. But our offices salvaged every piece of business. The only one that has been the hardest is the World Fishing Championship. We've had to reschedule that twice. We have 30 foreign countries that can't get in the door. It will happen. Again, thank you for your time. Any questions?
Thank you very much for the presentation. We appreciate it very much. I have a couple of minor questions about the brochure. You say your brochure like this is being reprinted.
Right. It is in production.
It gets shipped out to all of the welcome centers around South Carolina?
Yes. That visitor guide goes all across the United States.
Oh, all across the United States?
Yes.
Okay.
PRT takes it on the road to various travel and trade shows. Vicki and I are headed out the end of September to the Teams Conference. It was at ICAST. When we go to any group, marketing effort, show, meeting, etc., the brochure goes out. A very interesting outlet for our visitor guide are our realtors. They are stopping in our visitor center. I know in the last 2 or 3 months we've sent out 1,700 plus retirement relocation leads. Yes, they're walking in the door from California to New York to New Jersey every day at our visitor center. And we are sending those leads out to our area realtors.
Okay.
So the area realtors use them a lot in the welcome kits.
When they go to market
Right.
the area, and particularly Irmo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How much did we give y'all last year? Do you recall?
I think it was in the neighborhood of 23,000. Is that correct?
And that came from the accommodations.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I suspect y'all gonna apply again, right?
We have already applied.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. Well, I just wanted to make sure that I was clear.
And one thing I did fail to mention, actually, in 2 weeks, we have another television show coming, The Excursion. This is another 30-minute show that will be on Fox Television. The gentleman that produces the show is actually one of the actors in the show, and he goes out and experiences unique things in an area that he's visiting, and it's a way for him to educate potential visitors as to what's cool about this place. Look at what I'm doing.
Are they coming to Irmo?
Actually, they're staying at the hotel in Irmo.
No, are they going to be visiting any unique things in Irmo? Not.
They are having dinner at Bistro to do something at Bistro, and we are going to be up here at the sporting complex as well.
What sporting?
I mean what's the name of
What's that?
the bowling stars?
Oh, Stars and Strikes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Had a senior moment.
No problem. I have that all the time. Are there any questions for Ms. Atrium, everybody?
Yeah, I got one.
Please debate.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You mentioned I guess the fishing tournaments, 22, 23, and 24. Are those different tournaments?
They are all three
What's
different.
I guess my question is, the aggregate of those 3 years, how many tournaments is that?
Well, last year we did 5. That is not all the tournaments we're doing.
Right.
The 3 that I'm mentioning are the biggest and the best. Next year, we already have on the books, I believe, 4 in addition to those 3 in 1 year. We try because tourism, is a crazy animal. You don't want to fill this lake with 12 and 25 fishing tournaments in a given year. We have to be cognizant of our neighbors, cognizant of the product. Don't put too much pressure. Right. And so all of that goes into the play. And another thing that goes into it is the schedules of these national events. They will not travel consistently to a lake year after year after year. In other words, they might want to come to Lake Murray, then they want to go to Tahoe, or they want to go to somewhere in New York or wherever. They don't want to go consistently time after time after time. And when we speak of fishing tournaments, there are lots of local fishing tournaments. We're talking about an event number one, that's going to have hotel rooms. Number two, is going to bring a significant number of families. We had 380 college students here in May for 7 days, and their families. So we're going to get events that are going to have an impact on the area. And we, lastly, always make sure there is a television tie-in, because that extends our marketing effort.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Kelly, Eric?
Just thank you for what you do.
Thank you. We're here for you. Let us know how we can help. Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Ms. Satram, give me a call sometime this week. That'll be fine, thank you. All right. Other communications we have. As y'all know, we're having a spike in the coronavirus, the Delta phase of this coronavirus. And if I'm not mistaken, at last count, the count has increased dramatically in the last month or so. We had Ms. Kiera Streeter, who is an Irmo resident. She's the owner of Extraordinary Consulting. She did the COVID testing site in the park. She did that basically all summer. I think she stopped about a month ago when her contract ran out. She called me and asked if we wanted to resume doing testing in the town of Irmo, maybe not in that park location, but at another location. And she wanted to know what council would think about it. And I told her that we didn't have it on the agenda, but if you wanted to, contact us individually, you can do that and find out if there was any will of council to allow her to come back. And she also wanted to offer not only testing, but vaccine, which will be available at the site. Again, I told her we had the Okerstrut going on, so it'll be hard for us to do it at the Okerstrut, but at the Okerstrut Park, at the community park during the Okerstrut, but certainly we could probably find another location for her to do it. Are there any other consideration communications? Anybody else have anything? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on then. Presentation by citizens on agenda items. Is there any citizen that wanted to talk to us about the upcoming agenda items on the town agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to unfinished business. And let me see. I'd like to, under unfinished business, I want to go ahead and go through that, but under new business, I wanted to suspend the rules and take our executive session out of order, but we'll go on for that. Unfinished business, second and final reading of ordinance 2107. Is there a motion for second and final reading?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. Sickinger and Mr. Bush. Okay, Mr. Sickinger?
Yeah, I'm in favor. This is just standardization and requirements around the state, so it's a good thing.
Okay, Mr. Bush?
I echo those remarks.
All right, and Mr. Danielson?
I'm in agreement.
Okay, and Ms. Condon?
I'm in agreement.
Okay, all right. Will the clerk read the roll, please?
Mr. Bush,
Yes.
Ms. Condon,
Yes.
Mr. Danielson,
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
Yes. Okay, item B, second and final reading of ordinance 2108 to amend the Irmo Town Code. Is there a motion?
So move.
Mr. Bush and
Second.
Mr. Sickinger. Okay, Mr. Bush.
This is just a rereading from the last time. It's a swimming pool latch issue. Having a gate and a fence around swimming pools in the town of Irmo.
Okay.
Safety.
And Mr. Sickinger.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty straightforward thing that I'm in favor of. That's it.
Okay, Mr. Danielson?
Yeah, I'm in favor. Should have been done years ago.
Okay, and Ms. Condon?
I'm in favor.
Okay, great. Well, that's Ms. Renee, will you read the roll, please?
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Condom?
Yes.
Mr. Danielson?
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger?
Yes.
And Mayor Walker.
Yes. Thank you. Moving on to new business. I'd like to suspend the rules and take executive session, item 8 out of order, and review personnel, review of administrator interviews.
I'll second that.
Is second that, okay? And is there, all in favor of taking that out of order, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we're gonna take the executive session out of order, and we're gonna go into executive session. We're not gonna take any votes, but I do want Mr. Jake Moore back there and council, okay? Thank you. Leave your microphone.
You don't have mobile mics, only
Okay, we are back from executive session. Oh, missing some people?
Oh, there were people waiting outside.
Okay. All right, we are back from executive session. No votes were taken. Back on the agenda, oh, actually, we have a motion to make, read the amended agenda to make that motion?
Yes.
Okay, we need to I would like to make an amendment to the agenda coming out of executive session to add a new business item, God, A-1. AA. To appoint Courtney Dennis as our new town administrator. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Cassie Condom, I made the motion. Ms. Cassie Condom seconded. Mayor Pro Tem Cassie seconded. All in favor, say aye. Oh, it's discussion. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Bill.
Yeah, just make sure that we're subject to working out employment details with him,
Negotiations.
negotiations with.
What negotiation? He's going to work for us.
Well, we know what they are. We know what I'll let everybody else know.
And if I can just add, there was a great slate of candidates that came through, and I think this was a tough decision.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion?
No, I echo those comments. I think I had no idea that we were going to have such a great pool of candidates. It's refreshing.
Okay. And is that it?
I think we have chosen the man who loves Irmo best and already lives here, and I think he's a very good choice.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? You want to read the roll or just want to say aye? You want to read the roll or let's call it?
You decide.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It's unanimous, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right. First reading ordinance 2109, Irmo Town Code. Is there a motion for first reading?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Mr. Sickinger.
I moved for the discussion. I want to hear what Mr. Bush has to say.
I think this is the one that brings us up to 2018 in our building codes. Is that correct? So I think we used to be on like 1995.
Well, technically, we originally had been in position to agree to everything the state changed. We automatically adopted ours, and it kept adopting, but the wording wasn't changed. And Councilman Bush wanted to just change it, so we actually have 2018 International Code in here. That's fine.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, clerk call roll.
Mr. Bush,
Yes.
Ms. Condon,
Yes.
Mr. Danielson,
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
Yes, I don't think your mic is on.
It is, but it's doing something.
Here, take this one. All right, so first reading of ordinance 2010 to rezone Muskrat Road. Is there a motion for first reading?
I move.
Mr. Bush, second. I'll second it. Mr. Bush.
So looking at the drawing here, I know where that's at. That's a little area where they had a nursery and some other different agriculture type things, so it would make sense in that area to have its own fringe agriculture.
That's why he wanted to change it.
I think that's near the Mons Pro. I mean, it's near, that's all, I don't know. I mean, that's what it looks like.
In that little block and making it FA, so he's got a parcel
Okay.
Right.
And so he can have a varmint gun?
Don't know what he's gonna do out there.
Okay.
Okay, any other comments?
Yeah, that provides a little bit more context for me, because frankly, when I saw it on the agenda, I was confused as to why we'd go in the wrong direction in zoning. Generally, it's, fringe agricultural, and then over time, it starts to move more towards residential or commercial. And that area is close to the lake and relatively expensive, more expensive land. I don't understand it, but I also see how it would not negatively impact the residents nearby. I guess I'm in favor of it going to, there would be another vote, right? So I'm in favor of it going to another vote.
That's all.
If I may, Mr. Hall had told me that, the main reason was because there was another development group wanting to develop the RG portion and put apartments and things out there, which of course we don't want, but that's what they want to do. And he didn't want them infringing into where he was going to have his property. That's why he wanted to be able to make his more of a circle where he put a fence around it and keep out the apartments, what he told me.
Rather than a weird geographic design, okay.
Which also, that's directly across the street from my property, which is fringe agriculture. So it's not really
It's somewhat close.
it's literally across the street.
Sniffing chickens.
Sniffing what?
Chickens. Actually, you know what? And it isn't a big deal, but at the same time, every decision we make is important enough for us to make the decision, right? So I think knowing your property and some of the issues, with being around fringe agriculture, I think that actually makes more sense now that I think about it.
Okay.
Any more comments? Seeing none, clerk read the roll.
Mr. Bush,
Yes.
Ms. Condom,
Yes?
Mr. Danielson,
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
Yes. Approval of Resolution 2102, budget amendments from fiscal 2021, totaling $368,166. Is there a motion? Ms. Condom, is there a second?
Second?
Mr. Sickinger. Ms. Condom, you want to speak about this?
These are all the things that we changed during the year, right? Okay, yeah, this is our stuff here, and we usually have this every year, and this year was $368,000. But it's things approved by council that weren't in the budget.
It's all supported by the minutes, but the auditors require this.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any more comments?
Yeah, I think a portion of this went to help our community in the fund that they're using right now to make grants. So, it wasn't, I don't think it was erroneously spent, so.
Okay, any more comments? Okay, will clerk call roll?
Mr. Bush,
Yay.
Ms. Condom,
Yes.
Mr. Danielson,
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
Yes. Okay. Approval to purchase 4 Chevy Tahoes off of the state contract. Is there a motion for approval? I'll make that motion.
I'll make the motion.
Mrs. Danielson?
A second.
No, I made the motion. Mrs.
Sorry, I'll second. Sorry, Mayor.
Mr. Bush, Mr. Danielson, thank you. Okay, this is to purchase 4 Chevy Tahoes for the amount of $213,000. When we went to a municipal association convention, there was a group called the HGAC Buy. They have a company that goes in through the municipal association to buy stuff through state contracts, but this is not a state contract. This is basically a contract over the entire country. I had Chief look at that, and you came back with some information, Chief, about that?
Yes, sir. With the Tahoes in particular, there was a company that bid on it on the HGAC Buy Act. out of Texas. They turned out to be just a little bit more expensive than what we're getting on the state contract. But it did give me an opportunity to look at the website and what they do. It is, like the mayor said, a nationwide competitive bidding forum. They provide everything you need if you're buying from them, from the bid tabulations to how they posted it, where they've posted it. So it's a pretty legitimate thing. So it's good that the Municipal Association gives us access to it, and they list us on there, actually, Irmo, and then it has MASE next to it as being able to purchase off of it. So it's something to look forward to in the future, but it didn't quite help us in this endeavor.
It was about $200 more or something like that?
Bottom line, once you had added destination, I talked to the guys from Texas today, and they'll ship them out here, but it's going to cost like $2,900. So bottom line, it would cost us about $3,500 more from what we can get from Love. The challenge this year with the cars is just all the manufacturers just don't have any inventory. And they've told me that when the new state contracts come out in October, they're not going to be as cheap as they are today. They've guaranteed that. So this gives us an opportunity to buy 4 Tahoes from Love Chevrolet right down the street. They're thinking they'll be here in December, barring any other major events. And then this price that you'll be approving tonight, if you do, is fully outfitted. That's not just the vehicles, but that's the radios, radars, cameras, truck vaults. It's the full 9 yards.
Mr. Danielson?
They need it. We need. Obviously, it's going to be an issue getting the delivery on these things. So we just hope that we can get them and quickly. So no, I'm in full support. We got to have them. This is all part of the recycling through the fleet, correct?
Yes, sir. So we've got about 30-some vehicles in our fleet. If we don't replace on average of 4 a year, then we'll get behind the power curve real quick.
I don't have a problem with them replacing it. I'm just trying to get the best price. And we have a tool. I want him to look at it and possibly start using it. As a matter of fact, not only for the police department, anything else we want to buy in town, this is a tool we should look at first and then go to the state contract. All right, thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, Chief, how many of these are electric vehicles?
0. Sorry.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, and will the clerk read the roll, please?
Mr. Bush,
Yes.
Ms. Condom,
Yes.
Mr. Danielson,
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
Yes. Approval to submit a letter of intent to Undiscovered SC Grant Program, PRT, in the amount of $200,000 for construction of the new Rawls Creek Park. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? I'll second. Ms. Condon? Mr. Danielson made a motion and Ms. Condon seconded. Mr. Danielson?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This is one of those undiscovered grant programs that are out there, minimum of $100,000, maximum of $200,000. We seem to qualify based on all the qualifications, but to break it down in its simplest terms, and Bob, correct me, or Renee, correct me if I'm wrong, we can use the money to construct new tourism areas that'll bring people from within a 50-mile radius, 50-mile radius, to bring them in for an attraction. I'm not sure that all of the subparts of the park go for that, but certainly the skate park is going to be bringing people in from all over the state. So this is a perfect use for it. I believe we're under the $900,000 threshold, which as far as the tax money that comes in. So it's a no-brainer. We have to have it in by September 24th, I think. Is that just a letter of intent? And it's something we need to go and get. It's free money.
Okay.
It's a good idea. I'm glad you found it.
I didn't find it.
Okay, what, anything?
Is it actually called the Undiscovered Grant Program?
What happened to the other grant we had going with the PRT? Did anybody answer that?
We didn't get that one, and they're waiting for the window to open up again, and if we want to, we can reapply, change dates, and upgrade the numbers.
And that's a PRC or a PRT?
That's a hard grant, PAR.
Hard, okay. Okay, got it.
They have a lot of little ones. There's 4 grants that you can get through Parks and Recreation, but we were going after the big one, which would give us the most money. Now, this one, 50-50 match also, but it's a lot of money.
Okay, all right. Any other questions?
Right, and just one more comment, Mr. Mayor. We can match that with money that, as long as it's not out of the general obligation fund, correct?
Yes, we can match it with our money, our money
If we ever get it. So we can turn that 200 into $400,000.
Correct.
Good, good,
Which will do a lot for the park.
good.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? The clerk, read the roll, please.
Mr. Bush,
Yes.
Ms. Condon,
Yes,
Mr. Danielson,
Yay.
and Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
Yes. Okay, this last one, appointment of Ms. Cavaness as municipal clerk, since we have a town administrator coming in, I'd like for him to interview people and figure out if that's the right thing for Ms. Cavaness to do. Is that all right? Does anybody else have a problem with that? I would like to,
Well, we've gone without one for 2 months and really need to have one on record.
that's fine.
And she's done it before and she's doing it now and been doing it for 2 months. It'd make it pretty easy transition. You guys have to appoint another one or reappoint Renee in November anyways. After the election, we have to reappoint.
yeah. We don't know whether Vi's coming back.
Don't know,
Okay,
don't know.
okay.
So I want to wait until that happens, or what do you want to do?
Well, I think Renee's doing a great job. I don't know that we can appreciate our staff more than we actually do. It's really tough, especially now that we're down a couple of spots. So I would think we just go ahead and do that if it's okay with the chief. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but that's just my opinion. I'll go with what everybody thinks.
I mean, the town council appoints the municipal clerk. We aren't hiring.
I mean, we have one now, but she's out on medical leave, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's why if there's a motion, I'm in favor of it. I said if there's a motion, I'm in favor.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay. So there's a motion and a second. All in favor? Or is there any more conversation?
The big question is, does she want to be the clerk?
She's doing about 4 jobs.
Municipal. Do you?
Do wherever I'm needed.
All right.
We're great.
Okay. Is there a okay. Clerk, read the roll, please.
Mr. Bush,
Yes.
Ms. Condon,
Yes,
Mr. Danielson,
Yes.
Mr. Sickinger,
Yes.
and Mayor Walker.
Yes. All right. Presentation by citizens. Are there any citizens here that want to make a presentation to the council on anything? I guess that lady left.
I spoke to her. She had a speeding complaint.
A speeding complaint?
She lives in Hamilton Park. She was
Who, Kay
complaining on
did?
Columbia Avenue.
Kay Brand,
Yeah.
okay.
Sounds like a good place to put that portable speed sign.
It'll be there very soon.
Take it out the park. All right.
Thank you, Chief.
Anybody else? Sharon Young? I guess not. Okay. Just leave your name and address. You can take that off. I can't hear you. Thank you.
Christopher Javis.
If you would, can you spell it? Your last name?
Javis. Like Davis.
Thank you.
I don't know if this is, but first and foremost, I'm Christopher Javis. This is my wife, Kadena Javis. We've just moved back to Irmo. I'm a Irmese, as we've always called it. We've been away. I've been away now for roughly about 26 years, but not away. Some of you may remember me from roughly about 2 years ago. I'm the president of the African American Association for the Irmo High School, and it's something that we're trying to generate throughout Columbia. We had a great fundraiser in which we host there in the park. Everything went well. I've always been connected with Irmo since I've been a little boy, and to come back home now to bring my kids here to be a part of this educational school system, because I follow this town greatly. And it was just a matter of convincing this beautiful lady to my left, y'all can help me out, to come to Irmo, and it was a challenge. But since we've been here, she is slowly but surely seeing what I've been in love with for years. Some things that I wanted to ask about tonight. I looked throughout the website, and in the city of Columbia, where we were, in Richland County, there were a lot of like grant programs and things like that for a small business, and we could go out there and so much as research ourselves if we had gotten any funds. I was trying to do research to find out where there were funds here for small business, as well as those who may have received them, to try to ask questions of the other small business owners to find some things out or avenues in which I needed to take. And I guess in a nutshell, is that something that you guys are providing that is I guess not in a public forum or somewhere that I can come to sit down with somebody to find out about those? We've had a business here, but it didn't suffer, but it didn't do well, and I think it was all about location. We were on Broad River Road with Javis Tax Company, and we consolidated that business and another business and purchased a building out off Two Notch Road. But with that purchase, we were able to go out and find out what was out there from Richland County and, the city of Columbia. And here, I have a goal of doing the same thing. We want to come here, and I want to do what I've done there because it's been successful. My wife and I, we've been able to educate communities there on financial literacy. It's so important to our youth today. I don't know if all of you are big sports fans, but I am. If you look at what's going on in college football today, you better grab your little 10-year-old and start talking to him about finances, because by the time he graduates high school, he could be a $6 or $7, $8, $9, $10 million near. So these are things that we want to bring here to start, talking to the youth, educating parents, getting within the school system, and letting people know how important this stuff is. It's extremely important because, believe it or not, it's just not inner city kids that are suffering with lack of knowledge. It's all kids, every one of them, because most of the parents, they sign the check or swipe the debit card. But we don't sit at the kitchen table anymore and educate. And it takes entities, and I understand that because everybody has to work, and then you have to take care of home, family, and everything else. But in a nutshell, if there's information out there somewhere, my wife and I, we would like to see that information as well as talk to other companies. I think like the young lady that was up here, from Lake Murray, they received funds in some way or another. But I wouldn't have known that before today until I got here tonight. And if I would have known that, that was probably a company that I could have contacted, sat down with, met with, found the process, understood the process, and then came before you all to find out what I could do to earn funds to get my business up started. Because we have not only the tax company, I'm a barber by trade. I am a member of your state barber board, as well as, I'm an educator in barbering. So Irmo is a place that I would love to put a barbershop, a couple barbershops, or a school. You know, we're big on education, and we thrive on education. But if there is funds out there somewhere that we could see that we could possibly somehow get into that loop of obtaining those funds to get these businesses started earlier instead of the 3 to 5 year goal that we have at this point, it would be great not only for us but for the community of Irmo. Because I know we have kids now in school, and I haven't went to the Career Center yet because I don't think our Career Center here in Irmo offers anything along the line of hair. Everything else is there, but I don't think we offer anything along the line of hair, not since I've been in school. And if you look throughout South Carolina, you've got high schools now offering that, and they're offering financial literacy. And, you know, I don't know what Irmo is doing. Like I said, I got to get back over there and get to the Career Center and do some investigating. But I've been invited to the school several times just to talk about financial literacy. And the kids are doing a great job at Irmo High School. I haven't been to Dutch Fork yet, but at Irmo, they are doing a great job there educating these kids on financial literacy, upstart of businesses, and being able to get businesses to flourish at an early age. So these are some things that we would like to do, but as I said, I would like to do them sooner than later. Going on 51 today, you don't want to wait too long before I'm unable to do some things that I would desire to do. So, you know, if there are funds out there, I don't know if they're there, but if someone could somehow or another tell us or teach us, you know, where to go or what to do, because like I said, where we were before, it was wide open. You just go on Richland County site and you'll see what was available as well as who obtained those funds.
We will make that available to you. And
Are you in Richland County now?
No, I'm in Irmo now. I'm in Irmo, but my businesses are in Richland County.
Okay, so you're in Lexington County? Living?
no,
No.
he lives
Irmo.
he lives in Irmo, and his business is like Richland County.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Got it.
And then one other thing that I wanted to bring to me in my, you know, doing my investigation, I knew that you guys, in speaking with a few people, that brought some things to my attention because they know I'm trying to get involved. And the process of, I guess I would say, being very diverse, very diverse. Irmo has always been a great town, but I don't think we've always been the most diverse town. Like just within this building here tonight, I congratulate Mr. Dennis on his position. But some individuals that spoke with me that are, I would say, were overqualified, nearly overqualified for the position of administrator. They were great candidates, in my opinion, just speaking to them and looking at the literature that you all put out so far as qualifications. And then talking to them, it was somewhat disturbing, just to be honest with you. Just moving back home, it was very disturbing to me because I've been gone for 26 years, but I've been somewhat involved in the loop, and I truly thought Irmo was more advanced than how these individuals, one particular individual felt. He felt like he was getting the runaround. This is how he felt. This is how he addressed it to me. Well, I couldn't give an answer because I don't do what you do. I'm a part of a board, but I'm not doing what you guys do. But he felt like that he was not being really included. He felt like he was not going to be strongly considered in the process. And it just disturbed me. I'm pretty sure as a council, you guys selected the best person for the job. And I've talked to the chief whenever I was here the last time. Everybody has been extremely helpful. But being a business owner and a developer of business, I always seek the best candidate. Always. Because that candidate is the candidate that's going to grow my business. And whenever you're talking about growth of something, you always put your best foot forward. Like I said, I don't know what the choice was or how choices were made or how discussions went. I'm just telling you that this individual almost made me feel like, did I make the right decision coming back home? But ultimately, I know I did because I know Irmo. I know we don't do quote unquote stain. We don't do stain. We keep ourselves clean here, and we make sure everybody's taken care of in this community. That's what I've seen since I've been a child. And that one individual, I don't know him all that well, but to listen to him, it was disturbing. That's the only way that I can put it. And I just wanted to speak about that tonight and the other issue. And neither one of them are quote unquote issues, because what you guys decide to do, I'm pretty sure as a team, you think about it real hard and get it done, because that's what Irmo's about. And that's it in a nutshell.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Sorry,
Second.
I skipped ahead. I skipped something, hold on.